in the Excel sheet called experience, and that comes out of the question paper May 2024. Okay, I'm going to start with number 7 on page 15. Are you with me? Okay. Now, before I start to explain pivot tables and pivot charts, let's just get an example of what this might look like. Okay, so I'm going to go to property 25. What is 25? 24. Property 24. Okay, and I want to show you something. Let's say I'm looking for a property in Stellenbosch. Okay, I want to buy. I want the property type to be a house. It can maybe be an apartment. The minimum price, let's make it 1 million. 1 million. And the max price I want to pay, let's make it 3 million. The bedroom should be at least 3. Can you see I'm putting filters there? There's 4 filters. Can you see that? Then I say search. Okay? Then it gives me a property. It can, remember, it can be a house or an apartment between the prices of 1 million and 3 million. And it needs to have 3 bedrooms. Can you see I've got about 21 of these searches that came out? Okay. Now, I want you to take that same example into pivot tables and pivot charts. Okay. Now, read there number 7 with me. It says, highlight the cells B6 to I13 to insert a pivot table. Now, you're not going to highlight the cells. If you highlight it, it will open up a new sheet. So this is how you're going to do that. You are going to read the second part in that sentence that says, where must it be displayed? Read that with me so I can see that you look at the same place that I'm looking at. It must be displayed in cells what? B18 to E26. So where are you going to put your mouse? On B18. So you're just going to put your mouse on that first cell. That's the first step of what we are going to do. We're going to simulate what we've just seen on property 24. Remember, we are filtering our sources. Okay, are you with me? All right. Then you're going to go to insert and you're going to say pivot chart. We are doing a pivot table. You can read that. It says insert a what? A pivot table. So you're going to click on that. Then and only now you are going to select on that little range there. And now you are going to select the one that I've asked, which was B6 all the way to I13. Can you see how I do that, Lisa? I first click on the cell I want and then I select my range. And then I say, okay. Okay. Now, when you get to this part, I want you to click on chart and press delete. Okay. Do not keep that chart. It's going to make things confusing for you. We're going to do the chart later. Okay. Are you with me? Now, read the next part of that question. It says, display the following. And then it gives you access and it gives you values and all of the weird stuff. Read the question as simple as you can. It's a very dense question. In other words, they give you a lot of information and all I want you to see is the words there. Forget about access and categories. Just look at the names. In other words, remember when I did my property 24, I was looking for Stellenbosch, I was looking for an apartment or a home, I was looking for the price, and I was looking for the 3 bedrooms. Are you with me? Now it's the same with this. Forget about the other words. You are looking for the salesperson. Can you see that word there on your question paper? So you're going to click it. What is the next word there? Experience in years. Can you see you're going to select that? Okay, it's like selecting your filters on property 24. What is the next one you're going to select? Age, which is the next one. And then the last one is going to be years in Gauteng. Am I selecting anything else? No. Can you see that you have now gotten a little table here on the left-hand side? Okay. Now, quickly look on the right-hand side. They do not ask you anything else, but they are saying to display the sum of the three values. Okay? The sum of the age and the sum of the years in Gauteng. And then they also, did I select all of it? Yes. Okay, so those are the things they want. But let's say the question asks to display the average and not the sum. Okay, are you with me? Then you want to click here on the values. Click on the one that I want to change. Let's say they've asked for the average of years. You click on it, not right click. You click on it with your left. And then you're going to go to the value field settings and then you can choose average. Okay, if they ask that of you. But mostly the default is sum. So I'm going to leave it as is. Are you with me? Okay, fantastic. Now let's go to the next part. They want you at number 8. Some of you are not listening. You're eating and fiddling. Stop it. If the shoe fits. Number 8. Insert a clustered column pivot graph of the pivot table. Now remember, this is your pivot table. Okay? So it's similar to what you have done in N5. They would have asked you to take in this data and insert a graph. Now, what you have done is first created the table. We call it the pivot table. And now you are going to create a graph. Okay, so let's quickly do that. Let's say at number 8, they are asking you to insert that graph. Okay, you have to be clicked anywhere in this table. You don't have to select it, just be clicked. Then you're going to go to insert, just like you would have done with a normal chart or a graph. But do you see there, at the same place that you've chosen the table, there's also now a pivot chart. Can you see that? You're going to select that, and then you are going to choose the one they want. In this scenario, and most of the other question papers, you will see it's a column, clustered column. But it can also be a line. It can also be a pie. It can be any of these. Please read and select the correct one. Are you with me? Okay, then you're going to say okay, and it's going to appear there. But now read very carefully. Where must this pivot table be displayed? In F21, so you click and you move it. This is very important, so it must be there. Do you agree with me? Okay, now, do you remember from N5, when we have done a chart, I taught you that your best friend when you are doing chart is elements. What is an element on a chart in 6s? It's your axis, it's your chart title, it's your labels, it's your legends, it's your grid lines, it's your trend lines. All of the things you see here on the graph or the chart is your elements. A graph is built from elements. Are you with me? Yes. Okay. So how do I get access to those elements? Because they say there, add a graph title. A graph title is an element. Okay. So you select that, you have to be clicked on the graph or the chart. Otherwise, it's not going to appear here. Then you're going to go to design and it's going to be there by element. Are you with me? Okay, you're going to select that. Then There is all your elements. So go to the first one. It says a chart title. Can you see there's the title? It doesn't say if it needs to be where. So you're just going to choose above. Okay. And then remember, this becomes a little text box that you can type in. So it says salesperson, salespersons. And how do I get to the second row to do my examination number? Can you still remember from in 5? You press enter. But what enter does not work in a graph? Your small enter in your right-hand side of your keyboard. Do you remember there's 2 enters on your keyboard? Yes? So look here, I pressed my enter. It doesn't work. So you have to push your big enter in the middle of your keyboard. Not in the straight in the center, but the one that is more to the middle than to the right. Are you with me? Then you can put in your exam number, which is by your ID number. So you're obviously not going to put in the words. You're going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever your ID is. Are you with me? Okay. Let's go to the B. Draw a thick line border around the graph. Remember, your graph is actually a shape. So you're going to go to format and you're going to say your outline needs to be a thick line, and that's what they want. The outline of the shape is the border of the graph. It's the same thing. Are you with me? Okay, let's go to C. Yes. Number B. Must I repeat number B? Okay. Read number B with me. Draw a thick line border around the graph. Okay. A border is a shape outline. It's not going to be under design because I'm formatting my shape. The graph is a shape. That's what it is. That's why I'm saying go to format and say shape outline. And choose the white to be one of the thicker lines so that the examiner can see that it's a thick line. Are you with me, darlings? So you select, you go, you were previously on design when you chose your element. Now you are going to go to the format part of that tools and you're going to choose the outline. Okay, can I move on to C? It says there, add the data labels. What is a label in 6s? It's an element of the chart. Do you agree with me? So what do I do to get to the elements? I choose the design. I go to the elements. I look for the labels. They don't specify, so I'm just going to choose whatever, which one. Let's do that one. Can you see how the little numbers are displayed there on my graph? Then read that same sentence. It has 2 marks there. It is saying add data labels. Also, comma, display the legend below the graph. What is a legend? Also an element. That is the legend. It must be below. Below is the same word as bottom. So you're going to choose that option. Are you with me? Okay. Then it's asking you to change the age data range in the graph. Okay. Now I'm just going to move it a little bit. I think it can be a little bit bigger. Let me just say K35. Okay, so it can be a little bit bigger than what it is currently. Not a lot, but like that. Okay, let's make it bigger for ourselves. Can you see that the age in this is the blue part? There's the years in Gauteng, and then there's also the age range. Can you see that? Okay, so which color is the age? The blue. So you're going to choose the blue. Are you with me? Remember, I wanted to change to a line graph. So you're going to first click with your left mouse to make sure everything is selected. Yes. Okay. And then you're going to right click and you're going to say change the series type. And do you see this comes up now? What is the sum of the age? What does it need to be now? A line graph. Okay, not a stack line, just a normal line. Can you see it's a very easy thing to do? So let me quickly show you again. You're going to select the color that they're talking about. In this case, they're talking about H, which is the blue. You're going to right click. You're going to say change the series chart type. And you're going to say the blue one needs to be a line. It can also be one of the others. Then you must choose that. And you're going to say, okay. Can you see the blue has now changed to a line? And the other one is still in the column. Are you with me? Okay. Now, that is at the end of D. Are you still with me? Yeah. Okay. We are going to go now to number 9, which says we need to use the data in the H column. Okay, so let's just quickly familiarize ourselves. We are working with the data over here. Are you all with me? They say you must go to the data in the column, which is F. This is the actual data that you're working with. Okay, are you all clear? The lighter green. They say there F7 to F13. And insert a spark line graph in the following cells. Okay, now what is a spark line graph? Let me quickly show you where to find it. You're going to go to insert. And do you see it says there's spark lines? How many do you see there? 1, 2, 3. There's a line spark line, there's a column spark line, and there's a win and loss spark line. Are you with me, darlings? Now you will see the line spark line needs to go into B28. But unfortunately, I think there was a mistake on the question paper. So just make the 28 a 38, please. The 38, and then the 30 must become a 40, and the 32 must become a 42. So just add 10 to where the cells are. Okay, are you with me on the question paper? It's just the place where it needs to be displayed. So let's go to B38, which reads now on your question paper B28. Okay, are you with me? So here we are. Click there, insert, line. Okay, what are we using for our data? They are giving it to us as F12 to F13. It's on your question paper. Can you see that? And then what are you going to say? Okay. Now look at what it does. It draws a little fairy graph there for you. Are you with me? Then we're going to go to 40, which is your 30, but we have changed it to 40 to make space for it. And we're going to go to insert. What is the next spark line I need to insert? A column. So you choose column. What is my data range? It is the same, those little light yellow or green. And you're going to say, okay, and look what's going to happen. Okay, now I just want to show you what is the difference between the blue. If I'm going to make this age a negative 27, look at what's going to happen now if I choose. Okay, let me just quickly do it again. Insert, it needs to go into red now. So let me just quickly show you how it looks if it is a negative value so that you can just understand how it works. You will see now the other one is at the bottom. Can you see that? So if it's a negative value, it goes into the bottom. If it's a positive value, it goes into the top. Okay, let's do the last one. It's in B32, but we are going to use B42. Are you with me? We're going to go insert, and what is the last spark line I need to use? Sorry, this is actually the win or loss. Sorry, not the column is going to be at the bottom. The win or loss is going to be the red. You're going to see it now with the negative. Okay, let's choose the correct data range, and let's see, can you see that one is going to be red? Yours is obviously not going to be red because you are not going to work with the negative. Okay, now please look at the last sentence there. What does it say? It says change the height of those rows that you've just used to 35 points. Okay, this is in 4 work. How do you change the row height of Excel? You click on that whole row. You right click. You say row height and you change it to 35. Now, some question papers ask you pixels or points. We don't work in pixels, just like we don't work in diameters or in inches. We work in centimeters. So just ignore it like you will ignore your X in the club, né? And then you'll do that with the same. Right click, format row height, make it 35. Say OK and do it with the last one. Right click, row height, make it 35, say OK, and Bob's your uncle. And then the last one they ask you is you need to insert a border around each. So you're going to go there. How do you insert a border around the cell? Go there and say outside borders. It doesn't say thick, so just use the normal one. Okay, very easy. Are you with me? Okay, one last thing I want to show you. Sometimes in this table here, they ask you to filter things. I'm going to see if I can look at an example from an old question paper. When they ask you to filter something, this is what you do. Okay? So let me just give you context. Let's say I want all of the sale persons that is a 26 and above, only those that are 26 and above, and that have more than 15 years of experience. Okay, I want them to be displayed here. Then what you're going to do is you're going to click somewhere outside. Normally they will give you a cell value, let's say B15. Okay, and then do you see there's a filter option? You see that? Okay, remember I said I want the age to be a specific and I want the years in experience to be specific. So you choose the ones, né, that is asked of you. What did I say? The age must be, we're selecting multiple items, everything except these ones. They must be 27 and up, say for example. So you're going to say, okay, can you see now it's only 3 people. And of that 3 people, I only want to see the people that have the experience in here. Why is it now blank? It shouldn't be blank. Okay. Okay, maybe it's because they don't have that specific one, but let's just say this might be blank. I don't know why it's blank, but okay. But that's how you filter. You can choose it there. Now, darlings, let's say everything looks like chaotic to you. Then at least just show me that you can filter by dragging those fields. You literally click and you drag it there, so that you can actually get the mark for filtering, even if you can't do this. Okay, then you'll get the mark for the filters, but you'll maybe lose 1 mark for displaying the correct ones. Okay, so just practice that, please. You can maybe just do 1 filter for me on age and only display the ones above 27 and more. Okay, I'm going to stop here.